Um, Let me see. Yeah, you should be able to hear us all now. So, welcome into the season 24 group stage draw. I'm Ink. You probably can't see who's talking really that well, but I'm also joined by Coeval, and we have a nice little wheel here. I'm gonna have to also fix that, it looks like. Um, there we go. Nice wheel. Lots of names. Um, yeah, Coeval, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good, yeah. Just here to tune in to this group stage random assignment. We're gonna see what kind of matchups we're gonna be faced with, and yeah, really looking forward to it and looking forward to the tournament.
Right. So we have 87 players and we're going to have 12 groups. The majority of groups will be 7 people. So you're more likely to get in a group of 7, but there will be some groups of 8 due to there being an uneven number. In whichever case, whichever group you're drawn in, um it doesn't matter, top 4 will advance. However, the way it will be structured is if you are in the playoffs, but you only like barely got in, you'll have to play an extra round within the playoffs. So ideally you want to finish in that top 2 range in your group. All right, so are you all ready for our first spin?
All right, let's get it going. Let's see who's gonna be our first. Should we say victim? No, we won't
Victim.
say
We'll say
that.
victim.
Depends on how lopsided we might see some of these groups. It's up to chance.
Oh, that was
Kayasagi
almost you.
says, "Let's go" up in the chat. Oh, almost me. Yeah, I'm participating in this tournament as well. We'll see what happens. Andy Hill, which yeah, let me open the.
Yeah, a player who I'm not too familiar with. Smaller man. Much smaller.
Let's see. Are those the in-game names on the wheel, or it looks
Uh,
like
they
that one was
they should
maybe a
be.
Discord.
They should be in-game names. Okay, so that's our first spin.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I see him here now. Okay, I was like, I'm not sure who he is. Likely a new player, new to the Arc scene, but we'll see. Maybe Andy can turn some heads. I just got surprised because I've never even heard of the dude, and I have been playing Arc for a long time.
Yeah, give me 1 second before we do our next spin.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Cause yeah, see, I have to okay, it's a little bit scuffed. I'll have to I'll have to duplicate it and then oh no, actually you guys can't see that, that's correct. Alright, that's fine. Okay. Next one.
Let's see who we got here. Next participant in Group A, or does it go just?
Group A.
Are
Yeah.
we going one group at a time? Okay, yeah. Salkin, fairly
Sulkin's
well
been around for
known.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah, fairly well known casino player. 10 random spells. Of course, this is the
He was
format of
one
this
of the
tournament.
first random spells players, actually. One of the first. I
Oh wow, okay,
remember,
yeah.
yeah, I remember him and Lost Recall were like the two ones that were like initially starting it out. Next group A.
Awesome. So he's definitely someone to watch. Not sure if he can compete with Andy, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, looking like increase. Wait, no, not quite.
Finn.
Finn, all right. Yeah. Finn is someone who's relatively new to the community, but been a pretty active volunteer. I'd say some experience, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. I'm not sure. I haven't played them in 10 random spells at least very much. Pretty cool pick. We love Finn in this house, says Cataborg. Yes, we do. We got to stand for Finn. Finn won the noob tournament too last year. Okay, great. Yeah, someone to watch for sure. Vowels. Okay, we've got It's Blitz. I believe he's a newer player as well, unless
Newer.
I don't know.
Yes.
Some of these, yeah, some of these
Joined
people may be,
recently.
yeah, some of these people may be on alts as well, which I don't know as well.
No,
Just like,
alts can't participate. If they can, they're getting
okay.
DQ'd. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, so mains only. All right, sounds
mains
good.
only. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Overall, I'd say looking like a bit of a newer player group up to this point. But that makes sense because the majority of people are going to be new in this tournament.
Captain
Okay.
Nemo.
We've got Captain Nemo, also someone who is fairly new and I believe plays some 10 random and unrateds. I see him kind of around the lobby every now and then. And looks like, okay, we have either 2 or 3 people left. Hayden J. Gates.
It will be for this group 5, so we have 5 spins already. We will
Yeah.
have 3 more. That's correct.
Okay, great. Hayden J. Gates says, "Woo, Nemo!" So we've got some Nemo fans in the chat, which is great. All right, closing out this group with 3 more spins. Looking like Syncmints. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if I've seen. I think Casino Lobbies is where I've maybe seen that name. I don't know if many, like everyone in here plays actually like one-on-one 10 random spells, but many of these players are familiar with the teams modes, and some play it, maybe even play it exclusively. So we'll see kind of how the skill transfers from basically being able to excel in a team's random spell setting versus one-on-one. There's a few subtle differences, but yeah, Kaiosagi here says I played with Syncmints a few games, pretty decent. Yeah, I've seen some specs. Nothing really glaring to point out. Of course, if there was, I probably wouldn't mention it here on stream. You know how it is. But, oh, we just passed a random, and we are... It's looking like Squidmarl, okay. Also, Armari. Squidamari.
Amari.
Oh, there he is in the chat. All right, now you know what your group is. How are you feeling? Squid. I see you up at the top. Squid and Calamari. Okay, Squidamari. Yeah.
Last spin for Group A.
All right, final spin. Come on, put me in this group. Let's go. Scared Blitz is scary to me. Yeah, this shorter time format.
And
There
it's
may be
gonna
a lot
be a
of...
big name, Tubby Teak.
Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, fairly big name, especially in the randoms and random spells and maybe lower times scene. But again, you know, it is random, so there is that element of luck that comes along with playing this game mode. So even though you may be a little bit more skilled, you may not always have that advantage depending on your book. So it looks like that closes out Group A. We're going to get the next group started real shortly here. Tubby is going to slay us all. Pile him. Yes, okay, of course. We got to pile Tubby in this group. So, yeah, if I had to kind of analyze this group, I'd say Tubby and Salkin looking like maybe top players in this section, and maybe sleeper players might be like Finn or Syncmints potentially too. And of course, you know, no one is really counting out Andy Hill 2-1-2 at this point. We got to root for our boy.
Yeah.
Joe says this is going to be insane. This is definitely going to be insane, Joe. Look at all these groups that we have to dole out here and get set. It's a lot. 11 more. There's going to be so many players. I hope everyone shows up and plays their best game. with my luck, I'll probably get queued into a game and have like all the non-offensive spells and spells that just like don't give any advantage. Probably have no towers, no healing. With my opponent having like Mega Boulder, Shock Bomb, you know, that
Yeah, Rock Golem.
yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man, Golem is
We will be moving on to Group B in one moment. I'm just trying to organize this because it's a lot of names to fit on this screen.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Spelling mistake, worst host. Zimmy, if you could
Uh,
point out the spelling
if
mistake.
you could point out the spelling mistake, let us know.
Yeah.
All right.
Tubbs has shown great promise as a leader. Leader of is it Bomb Clan or another clan? I can't quite remember, but I'm picking up what you're putting down. Oh, Squid Amari. Oh, it's not Squid Imari. Okay, well, for now we'll imagine the A there for a minute.
Oh,
Uh,
I can fix that. No worries.
yeah. Just picture it in your
Squid,
mind. Looks like
Squid
we've got
Amari.
Karome. Karome or Karomi. I feel like they've been around for a bit, but I'm not sure exactly how to assess their skill quite yet. I'd have to uh, get some closer looks at their gameplay, get some do some spectating, you know. But I think they're pretty decent. They're pretty solid. So the real question is, does the wheel automatically take out people who have already been selected? Yes.
I click the manual remove button to
Yeah.
manually remove people from who have already been like selected. So yeah, pretty much.
Squid says Karome is scary. Okay, well, we'll have to keep our eye on them. So that's the first pick for Group B. We've got the second player coming up here shortly. Past Miley and Lelouch there. Lelouch. Looking like Aviancy. Another newer player to the scene. I don't know if I've seen them play too many random spells games. I think they play maybe a little bit of everything. But could be wrong. So between these two players, I'm not 100% sure who might look to be a bit more scary, shall we say.
Okay then.
Squid says another scary player. Squid, I'm a little skeptical now. Like, are you just gonna be saying another scary player every time we do a draw? Yeah. So
Only if it's me or you, then we're not scary players. Don't worry.
right, you're right. Yeah, we're waiting for it. All right, we've got Virginia.
I believe that's their in-game name. If that's their name on the Discord. I'll admit I kind of rushed that one but I'm like
Yeah,
90% sure that's their name in game. I've seen them around, I think. So if Virginia, if you're watching this and the name is incorrect in game, let me know.
yeah, I believe that's right. Virginia has been pretty active in the 10 random scene from what I can tell. I think more 1v1s is what I've seen uh, compared to casino. Although, to be honest, it's harder to track people in casino games because you've got, teams of 12 or 16. You got to open that uh, team list to be able to see everyone. Okay, looking like maybe Miley Hannah?
It is Miley, yep.
Okay, great. Uh, immediate reaction from Kaio there with the Miley pick. Oh no. Yeah, Miley is uh, pretty strong.
Miley's played 10R for a while, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Experienced 10R player and just experienced player in general. And one of the like pretty formidable opponents, I would say, especially in this group so far up to this point. And also, fun fact, played like thousands of unrateds. I think recently was going for like 12K just unrateds, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Anyway, a lot. So, very experienced player. We will see how that translates to 10 random spells. Mercury in game chat says, I never seen Miley in Sino. Yeah, I don't know if I have either. Although I would say based on their skill set, like just drop Miley and Sino and they'll do decent, you know. That's a team member that you can rely on. So I would say up to this point, Miley looking like one of the stronger group members. And okay, we've got another spin going, and we have landed on D. Okay, and Vowel says yes, 12k unrated for Miley. Yeah, insane.
D is actually a 10R.
Yeah.
I would say, so they used to be like a casino player, and they
Yeah.
they got like 2k really quickly on it, and then they switched
Cool.
switched away to standard, actually, I believe.
Yeah, my
playing standard
experience.
nowadays. I don't know how much they're
Yeah.
playing casino nowadays, but they're playing a lot of standard.
Uh-huh. Yeah, my experience with D is mainly in like the 60s kind of scene, playing quite a bit of 60 Grassy with them, and quite a solid player. I would say probably better at random spells than standard, and so looking to be a contender in that group B. I'd say up there with Miley in that set. But also, yeah, Virginia's looking pretty strong too, and then we've got our two dark horses, Chrome and Aviancy. No clue. Okay.
Yeah, that's their actual name. I will confirm that.
Yeah, I've got no clue who that is. Although I've seen their name around in the Discord, I don't know if I've seen them in game. Not sure. Maybe just kind of in passing in casino matches. So, a bit of a dark horse from my perspective. Although, no clue, or as I call him when he does pro plays, Clue. Good one. All right.
And we got Bop, also formerly known as the Meorbs.
We've got Bop, who is, also Zimmy. And Hayden says, yeah, beep boop. Rotated back to the same spot. Yeah, similar, huh? So Zimmy's going to be in that group B there. And
for our last pick, we got Pros.
Pros, okay.
Long time bet.
Yeah. Long time bet. I expect him to give the rest of these group members a good run for their money, and I would put him probably up there with Pros and Miley as two of the kind of stronger players there.
In standard, for sure. In random spells, you never know really, because some of these people, like they play random spells a lot, so hard to say.
Yeah, very true, very true. Easy Nev in the chat says he's gonna make a group B tier list and put himself at the top. Yeah, if I would rank him on a tier here, I'd probably put him like, I don't know, 5 or 6. But we'll have to wait and see kind of how this group looks. In random spells, like you said, anything can happen. Nev with the laughing emoji in the chat. Yeah, I'm obviously being sarcastic, but this will probably come back and be clipped and taken out of context. But that's all good. That's a sacrifice we have to make.
All right.
Group C. Let's go.
C. This is going to be our last group of 8, by the way. Just a disclaimer. It's going to be Deal. I believe that's the way you pronounce it.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think if they have any previous names. It's again a name that I've seen kind of around, like in the ether. Okay, Squid. Yeah, you seem to know Deal. Let us know if you know anything about them in the chat. I think. Oh, Scary. Okay, yeah. Squid, very reliable. Deal's Scary. Okay, we'll take your word for it. Looking like Illusionist? Yeah. Um, Speaking of scary, I think Illusionist may be a scary opponent in this group, especially when it comes to 10R. He essentially runs 10R only. Long-term member of Frost Clan who has been basically running the 10 random spells game mode on repeat. That's all they run. So, oh boy, Kaio says, Frost King. He has taught me how to play for a bit. Yeah, for sure. He's going to be a pretty well-known, strong presence in the casino community. Which again, casino is just the team's random spells matches. 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, even 2v2. Alright, looking like Psilocybin. I've seen Silo a bit on recently. Pretty active in random spells to my knowledge. And so definitely would put them up near the higher echelon of this group if I had to kind of rank them. Of course, we'll see. We've got 4 players left. But yeah, definitely up there with Illusionist. All right, spinning once again. We've got, okay, moving just slightly past increase. We've got Dr. Fard, Dr. Poop Fard. And don't let the name fool you guys. This guy is pretty strong. You never know what you're going to get from him in 10R. I think he could do quite strong. I would say too, yeah, like if we get, let's say we have a group that's pretty lopsided with all these players that are like, you know, veterans, pretty high level, then like you still don't know. You can't really rank them as like, oh, this guy's going to be like the favorite because it is random spells. So, I mean, there is some skill, but the element of randomness can't be ignored. Okay, and adding to this group, we've got Nexorcism, who's a relatively new player. I know that he's in Bomb Clan. I've got a few friends who are friends of him, so I know him through friends of friends. And I know that he's good at lobs. He was crushing me in lob games the other day, actually. So you gotta be sure and hide when you're playing him. All right, James Bogues. Darn near greatest trick shotter I've seen. Yeah, no, he's got that dog. Val says he's called Dr. Poopfard because of his Arcanist PhD. Yeah, for sure. All right, so we've got 6. Looks
No
like
way.
Devious?
Devious and Illusionist in the same group?
Yeah.
Great. Devious is gonna
Devious
come through my throat, man.
Devious 1. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I think Devious before this group draw was saying that, oh yeah, Ink is gonna put everyone from Frost Clan in the same group. That way we'll all get eliminated and then just like thin out basically. You know, natural frost selection, basically.
Yeah, natural frost
Yeah.
selection.
Yeah. And so he rest assured, like, this is random. So just, I guess, maybe unlucky from Devious's perspective. Nev says Frost Clan Civil War. Yeah, right.
Last spin, by the way.
All right, final spin for this group. Looks like we'll end up with 8 in this one as well. Unless I can't count. Looks like I can. And we've got Hilarious. Okay. Looking like a pretty strong way to round out this group. I would say between Devious, Hilarious, Bard, Psilocybin, Illusionist, all pretty strong. And then we've got our newer player Dark Horses in James and Deal. So that's looking like a pretty strong group comparing to the other two, A and B. And so we'll see what Hilarious can do in this Group C matchup. Kadia says bottom tier player high. All right, we'll just have to wait and see about that, huh? Good thing you're not in his group. Otherwise, he would show you a piece of his mind.
All right, so from here on out, the groups will be 7 players. So this is going to be our first spin for a group of 7.
Great. What I'm wondering is where's our boy Ink and Co-Evil? That's what I'm waiting for. Okay, looking like Machine, perhaps? Yeah. I'd put Machine maybe in the middle of the average group, slightly higher, as he's a quite strong standard player, just doesn't play as much low times, but is definitely someone to watch. Main's high times, so we'll see kind of how the skill translates. Kind of an interesting dynamic where you have some standard strong high times players who are going into this 10 randoms. 10 randoms tournament. Font size is all different, Zimmy. Oh man, you're our resident stream grammar Nazi, shall we say. The audience cheering and clapping is super enthusiastic every time. Love it. I'd clap, but it might hurt everyone's ears. Let me just get my, yeah, 2 hands right up against my mic and just deafen everyone. I laughed when Co-Evil said poop fart. Yeah, I was like, I don't, that's kind of a strange name to point out, but you know, is what it is. Oh, we've
Slim
got
Bill
my
and
boy.
Machine. Yep. Your boy
We've got
Slim
my
Bill.
boy Slim Bill. Let's go, man. Slim is one of my longtime friends on this game, and oh, he's great at 10 random. He's great at low times. He's great at high times.
Wow,
He's a
Raph
strong
in this group too.
He's a strong player. And speaking of strong players, we've also got Raph. Man, Machine, Slim, Bill, Raph. Just put me and you in there, and like maybe, you know, throw Spork and DX in there as well, and we'll
Yeah,
just
we'll just call it a day. Yeah.
call it a day. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's gonna be a fun group. Raph is, I think, in
Raph is one of the
particular,
best 10R players
yeah, in the whole
in the whole game.
field. That group
And then we
looking
got
rough.
JG Salem. Yeah, that's correct. Wow.
Oh, that's a bit crazy too. Yeah, Salem is a strong low times player as well. Wow. That group is the group, the death group. Like,
So
God
far.
damn. Yeah, up to this point. Man, who else are we gonna have? I'd feel bad for like a newer player to be slotting this group, to be honest. Although, yeah, I mean, you could get an upset. It is 10R at the end of the day.
Then we got
And
Q in this group.
looks like, yeah, we will have a newer player. We've got someone who doesn't really have much experience. No, I'm just playing. Q is also a veteran. Plays, I think, pretty evenly, low times, high times. Not so much 10 random, to be honest. So I'd be interested to see again how the skill kind of translates. I would say definitely, like, most of these guys in this group are veterans. So
Yep.
what
And
about?
let's see who will round this group out.
Yeah, right. We've got 7 instead of 8, so slightly smaller group here. Joe says, "What about the other letters?" Yeah, right. Kind of lazy with the name choice, huh? But
We got
all right,
Pucci.
we've got Pukuchi. All right. So he actually
Runner
competed
up.
well.
Runner
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in
yeah.
the new players tournament.
Yeah, right. And so honestly, right up there with like competitively in terms of being able to pull off, you know, an upset or even just like have a solid record against any one of these guys. So yeah, if I were to kind of keep my eye on a couple of people in this group, I would look at Slim Bill and Raph as just 2 of the stronger players. Raph in particular
Yeah.
has just been grinding 10R.
Yeah, and no, Raph is he's one of the best 10R players. Respectfully, he did fantastic in previous 10R tournaments and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think rating wise as well, he's up there like 2100, 2200. That's pretty high. So yeah, I would fear him a bit if I was in the group,
Right.
but I'm not.
Starting Group B.
Dang. All right, looking at Group E, we've got a lot of players left. I'm not going to count. Let's see here. Looking like AEIOU, or Vowels, as we like to affectionately call him, perhaps. A newer player to the scene and also very active. So been making a lot of quick improvements. There he is in the chat. Hi. Yes. Hey there, Vowels.
Vowel's
We are gonna.
being put in a group with Vowel. Rigged.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have. Do we have a player named Y that we can slot in with Group E as well? Looking like. Who is this guy?
Yeah, who's that noob? Alright, Vowels, you got yourself a free win.
All right, so we've got Ink in here. If we want to slot him in on the tier list, I'd probably put him like around maybe
Tier
5 or
4.
6 as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah, I agree.
I just make new tiers, off the top of my head. That's just what you can do with tier lists,
But
just make
below
stuff up.
anybody who's been spinned so far.
Yeah, easily. I won't disclose my record against that particular individual to not, give them maybe an ego boost. Looking like Hate Self here, which I believe they are a new player. I wanted to go see what their Discord was. I think is it the same? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if I've seen them very often in the Discord or the game. So, a bit of a enigma, so to speak. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they perform. Let's just move Bop over there too. We love you, Vowels, in this house. So okay, we've got some support for Vowels in the chat.
Hey,
Looking like
my South American brothers in my group.
looking like Eon, South American brother. All right, let's go. We've got some international representation and some linguistic representation in Group E with Vowels. So let's get it. Ah, I was close there too, just 4 below. We'll see when I get drawn. Probably the last person in Group M to get drawn. I didn't say much about Eon, but I would say, yeah, he's a pretty solid player. Not the most veteran of veterans, but has been pretty active in the Arcanist scene over the past year to year and a half, maybe. I don't know. Looks like we've got Eris.
Eris is a friend of Vowels, I believe. So 2 friends in that
Yeah.
group too.
Yeah, I believe Eris is in your same clan, Vowels, Lump clan. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah,
But-
very international group here. Got
Oh,
some
wow, we've got-
Australian representation,
Yes,
right?
we've got Day, who is going to be the resident Australian representative here, and I would say quite a strong player as 10R goes. So
Yep. And
yeah, this
we're gonna have one
group
last
is looking
spin.
to be one last spin. This group is looking to be pretty balanced. Kata says we love Eris in this house sometimes. Okay, yeah. So some mixed reactions about Eris.
Ooh.
Oh, ooh, looking like Spork. All right.
Yeah. Spork, the winner of the last 10R tournament. So
Yeah.
and
runner up.
he's been on fire recently in terms of just about everything. Won an LTS tournament, HTS tournament,
Yep.
last 10R tournament winner. I think he won the last weekend series tournament too. So he's gonna be the
Yeah.
guy to beat
Yeah, for sure. Pretty strong.
for like
tier.
anybody in like this tournament, not just the group. So
Oh yeah. No, tier 1 for sure. Yeah, not runner up. But he had won the previous tournament, and so man, definitely one to watch in this group. Also, of course, I would keep my eye on Day and Ink to make some waves, pull a couple of potentially upset wins against Lespork. And I think, like you said, Ink, is it like the first 2 people that would be advancing?
So
Or
it's the first two that go. They go to the playoffs, but they don't have to play an extra round. If you get third or fourth in
uh,
the group, I believe I might
yeah,
be incorrect. Then you have to play an
yeah,
extra round in the playoffs before you get to round of 32.
yeah. So
So
like a compensation for not doing quite as well. You got a middle game in between the two rounds
yeah,
that you have to play. Um, and I think that would be a single elimination, that middle game.
all of them are single elimination. The whole
Oh, okay,
bracket
yeah,
single
yeah.
elimination. But the middle game will be best of 5 instead of best of
Best of
7. So
best of five. Okay, yeah, yeah. Best of five, single elimination. Right. Hayden says Spork is truly a dual purpose tourney man. Kaio says, Ink, are you working on the bracket that's already made for the groups posted?
not exactly. I have inputted the names into like the system, but no, like the groups haven't been set up yet. All right,
Yeah,
we
so I
got
think
Vorex, newer player, I believe.
yeah, that'll happen after. Um, and yeah, Vorex, I believe, is newer as well. I was gonna say, like, make a comment about how they measure up to other members in their group, and then I realized, oh, there's just one. So we'll wait and see who they are matched up with. Looking like, who's this guy?
Um, yeah, well, all right, Vorex. It looks like you're gonna have a free win in this group,
Free,
then.
free dub. Yeah. Um, Koiva likes to say that he, is pretty solid in 10 random spells, and then follow that statement up with 10 straight losses, and then quitting Arcanus for a month. So, we'll just have to wait and see how our boy does. But no, excited to be in a group with Vorex. Let's get it. Let's see who else are my opponents in this group. Looking like super. Nope, Kaio just. All right, pretty solid uh, opponent here with some good experience. Been fairly active in the Discord, and also, uh, wait, is that you, Kaiosagi? Are you
No,
Kaio
no,
just?
no.
No.
There's two. That's the other. Kyo. There's Kyo and Kiyosaki.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. I thought that those two were different. I wasn't exactly sure. It's hard to keep everyone straight. Um, oh, I got a DM about hate self. I'll mention in a minute, but um, Nayama Yang. Okay, I
They
think they're
got top 16 in the last in one of the LTS tournaments. I think it was the Tencents one.
yeah, I
So
think they're pretty
competent
strong.
player.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on them. And I heard from a friend that hate self in Group E is DM4TW, who is quite
Ah,
a
okay.
strong 10R player. So that is also someone to watch. Day, Spork, Ink, Vowels, Hate Self,
Let me
all
fix that
looking
then.
pretty strong. Do you know the link on the Arcanist 2 images is broken?
What? Sorry,
I'm
what?
not sure. Spyfox says, do you know the link on the Arcanist 2 images is broken? And I'm not sure where exactly you mean, Spyfox.
Yeah, I'm
Within Twitch
confused.
or yeah, within Twitch or like in the Discord channel, is there an image link? I'm not exactly sure, but if
Oh,
you
is it the tournament
oh
broadcast?
on your Twitch description, he says.
My Twitch description.
Uh, Also, by the way, while we're getting that
Yeah,
sorted out,
I'm a
looking
little
like
bit confused by that. Twitch description. Oh, I think I know what he means. Is it
probably your main homepage, like, perhaps.
not the Discord
I don't know.
link? It's the website. Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, okay. I will have to fix that later.
Gotcha. Anyway, back to the drawing here. We've got in Group F, Loads. Pretty competent player from what I have seen. Likes to play casino a lot. And so, yeah, definitely can't count them out. No rush, just letting you know. Yeah, we appreciate that very much, Spy Fox. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, Spyfox.
Yeah. Looking like we have 2 members left in the goated group, if I were to say so myself.
Ooh, big name.
We have Nevitz. Okay. Nevitz is pretty strong. And someone that strikes fear into other members whenever they have to play. So, gonna have to dial in this group to have a chance, but
Last
it'll be
spin
great.
is Voldemort, who is also known as Maxipad. Formerly.
All right, we've got Voldemort. So, I believe they are also pretty strong
They are a very
in
strong 10R player,
10R.
yes.
Yep. Nev says I'm just a cheeser, and it's like, yeah, in standard, what random spells are you gonna cheese with? If you're gonna cheese, then when you get all these defensive spells, then come up top and rush me so that I could win. Yeah, and then I'll be like, oh, you cheesed me. But all right, that rounds out Group F. I would keep my eye on Nev. That's who I would keep my eye on. And
I would say Nev and Voldemort.
yeah, and then yeah, we'll just kind of see where I end up mixed in with all these other newer players and veterans there. We've got a decent balance of kind of new blood and vets in that group. All right, starting out with Spy. Is
I
that
do
Spy
not know.
Fox?
Maybe.
Different people.
Spyfox, maybe
Or
you can confirm.
or maybe no. I am not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure either.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them in the Discord at all either. So we'll have
Spy,
to see.
if Spyfox is still in chat, they'd have to confirm that's indeed them, or if it's somebody
Yeah, yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be drawn with clap your shit.
Alrighty. We've got Clap Yoshi, and he is in Group G. Pretty strong player, honestly. A staple in the casino community, I would say. Keeping that community together. Fairly active, I would say. I don't know if I've seen them on a ton recently, but
They're sometimes very active and sometimes they take breaks.
yeah, you play this game in waves. That's pretty common. Looking like LDN here. I would say maybe more of a dark horse pick if I had to place him. Slightly newer, although has quite a bit of potential. So yeah, we'll see how they can compete in Group G. Moving on to the fourth participant here. Who are we going to have? Looking like Black Flash. Okay.
I'm just going to write Joker down because that is Joker.
Yeah. So we've got Joker in this group. Here, he is a very well-known veteran and strong 10 randoms player. About on the tier with Nevitz, I would say, and Spork. Raph, Slim Bill, that kind of group. Coevil, no, I'm just playing. But yeah, pretty strong. I would put him at the top as far as kind of, pre-match predictions go. Okay, we've got Cadius. He will be a formidable opponent in this group as well. I would say probably kind of middle of the pack as far as, new player and veteran goes. Pretty experienced, has been playing quite a bit and improved a lot. Okay, we've got some chats coming in. A lot of good players in these brackets. Hash Browns added to Group G. There, another strong player. Group B will be a run for everyone's money. Yes, perhaps. I enjoy your YouTube channel, Joe. Slightly newer. I played Arcanist back in primary school. But yeah, not great, but not bad. That's LDN. All right, yeah. I waited all this time to see my name. Well, we are happy for you to stick around, and sorry to slander you a bit in the chat. We've got the S tier name once again, Booty Dimple, who's going to be up in Group G. And looking like Joker
That
is,
concludes the group. Joker's probably the favorite in that group, yeah.
I would say far and away the favorite. I don't know if it's the most lopsided group. Can't really say. Group A is also a bit lopsided as far as veteran versus newer player presence. But yeah, I'm interested to see for those who are more experienced, how much does skill factor in versus just, well, this book that I have has 8 terrible spells, and so I'm just going to lose. Or at what point can you kind of compensate for your worst spells by, having better positioning, not putting yourself in bombable spots or mega-able spots, or, in range of aerials, things like that. So this is a tournament where we'll be able to see how that kind of plays out. Helios starting out in Group H. Joker says, I believe that's Joker, I'm gonna lose to Booty Dimple. Yeah, man, I had you all the way down in like tier 6 probably. Booty Dimple S tier. Not a bad group lineup. Hopefully I don't get rubbish spells. Yeah, I know. Don't we all hope that, huh, LDN? So. Looking like Moku in Group H here, maybe? Barely. Yep. Helios and Moku, I would say. I don't know too much about those two players. I know Helios is a little bit more experienced. Maybe has played original Arc. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they're a member of Bomb Clan. So maybe watch out for those lobs. You might be in some danger if you're going to give them a chance to hit a lob. We have Guy in a Bush. Very literal, concrete name. Hopefully he'll be able to hide in a bush if his opponent has like some pretty intense rush spells.
Or aerials, yeah.
Yeah, or aerials. And actually this map that we are running the tournament on has hiding spots in every map. There's not one map that's just flat with no hiding spots. So you'll be able to hide if needed.
Got 10 piece.
We love
Longtime
the guy
veteran
in a
of
bush.
10 random spells.
Yep.
Not 100% sure if he's gonna end up playing. He said he signed up for the tournament, he doesn't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I haven't seen him play in several months, so we will have to wait and see if he does show out to play. Looking like we've got Kata here. He will be I think he's a newer player, and also
He played in the Steam
had
launch
been-
tournament, yeah.
yeah, he's been grinding and did pretty well in the Steam launch tournament.
And
so
he's gonna
someone
play against somebody who is. I think these two played against each other in the Steam tournament, Kata and Koi.
Oh,
So
no
that's
way.
funny.
Yeah, very cool. So perhaps opportunity for one of them to get revenge, right? So that'll be very interesting. This is looking like a pretty balanced group. If I
Anybody can take it, yeah.
yeah, if I had to make a prediction.
And last one is gonna be Gexu, who, admittedly, I do not know much about.
Gexi, I have maybe just seen in passing in casino matches, and I think maybe I've played them in the last week or two. I think that was them. Yeah, I would say that uh, they're pretty solid. I think a bit newer to the game. Um, Although, yeah, I think I play them in standard. So newer to standard versus newer to random spells is a bit different. Um, it is tough as a new player in random spells to be able to basically like look at all your spells in 10 seconds, make your move, charge your power bar, all in the span of 10 seconds, without like a broader knowledge of, oh, this book that I have with 16 spells is more defensive or more offensive, or do I have a tower and I just, am I able to hide? What's the map gen like? So you've got a lot of things to kind of consider um, in 10R, which I think is where some veterans may have an advantage over newer players.
1 second, guy in a bush's name got cut out. Let me fix that.
Oh yeah, no worries. But yeah, we'll wait and see kind of what skill expression looks like, in a tournament like this. It could very well be just a kind of completely open to randomness tournament until maybe you get to the higher stages where you have less people. There could obviously be upsets, but I don't know. When you have so many people in one group, anything can really happen. All
Starting
right,
off
Mercury.
with Group I, got Barwin.
Oh, Barwin. I thought it was going to be Mercury there, but looking like Barwin, who I would say almost exclusively runs 10 random spells
He,
and
he runs some
the
LTS, yeah.
and the team's random spells as well.
And he's gonna be against Oa.
Oh, this is going to be a fun group. I'd say they have similar play styles. So let's see if Oa is actually in the game chat. We'll see if he reacts. Why is your name so big, Oa? I don't know. But let's see what his reaction is. Just an angry emoticon face that he has. He's like, I'm ready to just destroy the competition. So we'll see if he can live up to that. We've got our
This player, I don't actually know their in-game name. They're the only one who I don't know their in-game name because it doesn't appear to be connected. So, if you are this player, Briefcase Wanker, please reach out to me by DM so I can get your in-game name. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone be scared. Be scared of this guy. The only person who we don't know, the mystery player. Yeah. Say it, cowards. Yeah. Some of these names are a bit suspect, huh? All right, we've got Sin. I don't know too much about Sin. If anyone knows.
They got into the HCS tourney top 16.
Ah. Okay. Very cool. So definitely have some experience, and I'd say with high times players, just one thing to kind of consider is how much you might queue, if you're in that position, because you're not going to be used to the lower times.
Yeah, I don't know how they play in 10R.
Right. Sin knocked me out of 60 Wasteland after I beat Ink. Oh, yeah. Dang, this is live. I can't edit that out. No one beats Ink. Ink is goated. I would have qualified. Dang, okay. So, he's pretty strong. Summon Pimps, also a pretty strong player. Loves this casino and 10 random spells.
They're
Rated
mainly
team.
known for elementals, yeah. I don't know about
Oh,
casino.
yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, I was getting those two kind of mixed up. But yeah. Strong elementals player. It'll be interesting how that translates to 10 random. We've got Frosty.
Oh, I spelled this wrong in the wheel, but don't worry, I got your name in the list correct. Frosty Honey Juicy, I think it is.
Yep.
Active on the Discord. I've seen it around.
Uh-huh. Not as much in game, although you never know. Could be a potential dark horse candidate here. We'll
We
see who's rounding
got
out this group. Final.
Charon for some Australian representation.
All right, final participant is Charam, like King said, from Australia. Relatively newer player to the scene. Like I said, with newer players and those coming from high times, the biggest barrier will be queuing. And if you don't queue, that'll put you in the best chance to win the game. These last picks left is crazy. Yeah. We're looking like we have some fairly strong
There's still
players
some pretty
left.
big names left. Yep.
Yeah.
Most notably DX, who has won a previous NR tournament.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to Group K, let's see what we got. As long as I don't get with Strength Power DX, yeah. He'd be a pretty intimidating opponent to face for sure. Group K for Kova the Wise. You think you're going to get picked here in this group? Kova, this is my group. I can feel it. How would you feel if you got picked, Kova, alongside Lelouch, DX, Arya, Wayward, Usman, K for Kaiosagi? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's like everyone just having.
Yeah, all good, all good. So we've got all these group members picked. 3 to go. These are going to be groups of 7, and looking at kind of the people who stand out, like I said, DX, Wayward is a strong low times player. Lelouch, like I had said, also a very strong low times player. 1v is in there as well in the mix. And Mercury Arrow's too, pretty, not, I'd say fairly recent to the scene, but has been grinding a bunch of 10 random spells. Every time I log in, Coevil, you know, get in queue. Get in queue. Time to run a set. And half the time I'm like, okay, all right, let's get it. And the other half I'm like, man, who is this guy? Always seeking me out for games. But no, he does that with everyone. He'll just type the name and be like, yo, 10R, go. 10 random spells. Let's get it. So we got some active, passionate players in this pool left. And some unknown people, tilting my head all the way to read that, but Superman, 30,000. Never heard of him, so could be a bit of an unknown, kind of a mystery there. Admiral, I'm not as familiar with. Let's see. Xrifts I know of, mainly from the Discord, though, not as much their playing style or playing strength. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. Electrify, I am not sure who that person is. Potentially newer to the scene, or I don't know. There's a potential some of these guys have been playing for a while, because I only returned to the game after like a half year or so. I wasn't too active while in school, so not 100% sure. And then we've got Kova, who, like Ink had said, was participating in the Steam tournament.
I'm not 100% sure. I would have to double.
Yeah.
I think they did, but don't quote me.
Yeah, maybe I'm just confusing him with Kata as well, but you know, those K names. I came back 1 week ago. Says Kova. Yeah, we're all kind of playing this game in waves, basically. And I don't know, it's a great game. I mean, there's a very addictive element to it when you get back and you're just like grinding games and just kind of get, addicted to that kind of dopamine of, yeah, gotta queue up, gotta queue up, gotta queue up, or, get my rating up or whatever. And then you get burnt out and you're like, all right, I'm done. And you to just like cold turkey, take a full break from the game for a while. That's sometimes how I play. But of course, it depends on, what you're all doing in real life. But looking at the rest of this list, I think that's Silence there. I don't know too much about. And also Coulter, I know, is probably one of the newest players from, to my knowledge. But again, I could be wrong. So we'll see if they're able to, turn any heads. And
All right, we are good to keep spinning now.
okay, I can stop stalling. You guys saw how well I stalled there. That's because I'm a high times player. I know how to stall. First member in the group's looking like Increase. Increase is a pretty strong, I'd say mid to high tier player at high times, and not as strong in low times. Although, when it comes to tournaments, people
I
rise to
believe
the
they are
occasion.
a 10R player, actually.
Okay, 10R player as well. I think most of my games have been with them in high times, and also I think the other day I played them in a low times game, but they said I haven't played low times in ages. And so perhaps just getting into the, flow of things, getting some warm-up games in. Looks like we've got Admiral. Don't think I know too much about this particular player, but hey, the less we know about certain players, the more likely they are to come in and just like win their group and shock the world, because everyone's going to be tuning into this. Increase is definitely a 10R player. Yeah, okay. Great. Oh, there's Admiral in the chat, Admiral24. Great to have you here. You're in Group K, man. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's see who your opponents are going to be. They're going to be scared. Kova says, oh, Kaio says, Admiral, I've played against a lot of these people. I'm not new here. Yeah, Kaio's pretty experienced. Kova seems to think, yeah, everyone's going to be pretty worried in his group. Yeah. You're going to be highly feared, so we'll just have to wait and see what ends up happening. How many of y'all, I wonder, are going to just jump right into your games once this group picks are all set and done? I know we have in a couple weeks until, like, I don't know, I think around like July 6th, like the beginning of July, to get all our games in. We've got Noob. He is a
10R main.
Yep, 10R main, experienced player. Can't count him out. Yeah, bring your A game against this guy. For sure. Kova says, X Factor, they don't know the depths of my foolishness. That's funny.
And we got Usagi, who I believe is also in the chat. Oh. Weevil seems to have left the building. Double check that he's... Let me see if I can get him back. Actually, you know what? He's probably reached that. I think he must have like misclicked the button or something. I don't think it was his internet that went out. I mean, it could have been, but it says he. Okay, there we go. There we go. Welcome back.
My Discord crashed. Sorry, guys.
Discord
back.
crash. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Kiyosagi got picked in Group K. I paused, so now we're doing another spin.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. All right, we're back. Yeah, well, I didn't
And
notice the
we're
Discord
back with
crashed. I was.
with a big name.
Oh, Wayward. Man, this is gonna be a spicy group. I was just saying while I was unintentionally out of Discord, I was saying that, well, K for Kiyosagi just automatically vaults him up to the top of Group K. So, but yeah, Wayward is gonna be pretty pretty strong for this group, along with Increase and Kaio there. I would put Wayward at the top. Although, yeah, Noob 2 is a 10R main. I would probably
Maybe
put Wayward
Increase.
and Noob.
Increase could be a favorite there, to be honest.
Yeah.
We got another
Yeah, true.
person with a W name. It's 1B.
Oh, 1V, alright. 1V plays a lot of 10R as well. Or should I say played. He doesn't play as much now anymore. But, of course, tournaments bring the best out in everyone. So, we'll see if he's able to make some waves.
And rounding it out, we're going to have...
We've got a couple of the W names.
Looks like
more
it's gonna
W
be
names.
Silence.
Silence, alright. I think, unfortunately for Silence, he's going to have quite the time in this group. But prove the doubters wrong, Silence. We believe in you.
Alright,
So that
setting up a new
closes
group.
out Group K. Yep. Kaio says, no, not 1V. Give me Mercury. Yeah, for sure. A little bit of Mercury Arrows hate, huh? He's a pretty strong player, too. So...
Alright, first spin of our second to last group.
Let's see here, Group L. Oh, speaking of Mercury, we've got Mercury Arrows here in Group L. Kova says they say he's silent but deadly. Yeah, we will wait and see. Looking forward to seeing that group play out. Same clan but friendly hate rivalry. Okay, so Kaio and Mercury got some friendly beef, we'll call it. Oh, this wheel is fine. Yeah. This wheel is finally looking legible, not just a bunch of like 5-font tiny names.
Yep, we can see the names now.
Yeah. Silence is the best lobber in the West. Yeah, he is, huh? Looking like Sato.
Yeah, Sato. I believe they play 10R primarily. Not sure about their skill level, but I do know they do play 10R a lot.
Yeah. Mercury and Sato then. One and the same. Both play a bunch of 10R, it sounds like. And looking like we're going to get DX in this group, who is clearly going to be a favorite coming out of Group L, regardless of who else shows up in here. Although I would say, too, Lilouch, definitely not someone to look past as far as 10 Random's skill and experience goes.
No,
So,
he has 10R art, so Archmage. So
yeah.
that's probably on paper the strongest person remaining.
Yep, I would say so too. And so if we saw DX and Lelouch in the same group, that would be quite interesting. Electrify. Don't know too much about this player. Appear to be somewhat new. Looking forward to seeing how some of these newer players who I don't know as well perform and just kind of learn more about them. All right, coming up next, we've got 2 more people in this group, 2 to roll for. Looking like Gohina. Maybe?
Gohina,
Gohina?
Gohana. They're
Yep.
pretty active in the Discord.
Gohina?
Don't know how they are in game.
Yeah, same here. I don't know too much. We'll have to just kind of see when they get their games going, if they're going to be coming to play or on a little bit of a struggle bus. Of course, if you get matched up with DX for your first game, it might be tough. We've got Superman 30,000 and 42. If that is how many games that he's played, then he's going to look to be a pretty strong player in this group, although I'm not so sure that's the case.
I think DX has still played more than that.
Probably,
I'm
possibly, yeah. Possibly. Yeah.
Between Arc 1 and Arc 2, probably, actually.
Yeah. So, Superman, I think, is one of the newer players, I would say, across all groups.
Rounding it out.
Best of luck to them. And we have Arya, who will be...
Nope.
Oh, no, we don't.
Just switched to Sperm last second.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was right on the edge.
Great.
Game. Again, let me set up the last group just for here. I don't think I need to really spin, do I? Because we kind of know who's gonna be in the last ways.
No. No, yeah. We can just add them kind of one by one or however you want to do it.
Okay. I'll spin for formality. How about that?
Okay, sure, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, Splurm rounding out that group will also be a pretty strong addition. I would say up there probably around Mercury Arrow's skill level. Or closest to, you know, to that. With the X at the top of this group and then the rest of the newer players kind of, you know, sitting around there at the bottom. Okay, Coulter first. Of course, yeah, like Ink said, everyone's going to be in this final group. But we've got Coulter, who I think also is one of the newer players in this tournament.
We also got Khazard, who was a recent costume competition winner, if you remember that.
Oh, right, yeah, we did a Star Wars themed costume contest in June, which was pretty fun. And so I think, yeah, they won the whole thing.
Yep.
And so that was pretty awesome. Okay, looking like X-Riff's up next. This is a player who I've seen around in the Discord probably more than I have in game. Not exactly sure what to expect out of them or how they will perform.
There's Usman.
Okay, up next, looking like Usman, yes.
We got Arya. Looks like it's gonna stop on Arya. Yep.
Both of them are veterans and quite popular. And so gonna be a pretty solid way to round out this group. And we're left with...
Oh man, it's again. Oh, okay, Lelouch.
We're left with Lelouch and Kova. Lelouch, I would say, is one of the...
Lelouch is towards the favorites and the whole thing.
Yeah, one of the stronger players in the field. So, yeah. And then finally we got Kova.
Yeah. Let me move these so you guys can see properly.
Kova is a newer player. We just got leftovers. Why is the wheel still spinning? Yeah. Yeah, we just did it just for formality, like we said. Yeah, why not? Kova's got game. He beats me in 60G. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Okay. Or
That's all the groups, everyone. Take note of who your opponents are going to be. If you got time today, go out and arrange on Discord. There's the list of participants in the
I should
channel.
clarify. There is a
Yeah.
specific way to set up these tournament games. I will post that
Yes,
in the
there
Discord
is.
momentarily. But first, I'm going to, of course, post the bracket. It won't take long to make the group bracket, but I do need to specify in the announcement. To play in the tournament games, you have to first of all have the tournament role, which I have to assign to you. Which don't worry, that won't take very long. Um, both players have to have it, and second of all, you will have to click the tournament button, which will load up the preset with all the restrictions and everything. So you don't have to set anything up, like anything at all. It's all done for you as soon as you click that tournament button, and you can just ready up and get in your games. Keep in mind it's a best of 3 for each match. So yeah, make sure you play for first to 2 wins. If it's a draw, then you play again, of course. So just keep playing until somebody gets to 2 wins. I think that's correct. Yes, that's correct.
So draw would be 0 points then, and you just count 1 point for a win.
Yes, correct. And if you do get
Gotcha.
like a win, like in the best of 3, but you lose the other 2, then it still counts for something because it's pretty important. Because it's gonna be for overall record. It's gonna be based on overall record. So, you know, if you're somebody who you lose, you're like close to the playoffs, but you took a win off like everybody in your group, it'll help a lot.
Yeah, you won't have to play that extra best of 5 if you can get to the top 2 in your group.
But yes, make sure you're in the Discord so you can arrange matches with your opponents. Like I said, like in the casual tournaments channel, I provide a list of all people's Discords and their in-game names, so you can just, if you don't know anybody in your group, you can just like look them up there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head out, and finish making bracket announcements. So enjoy, guys. I hope you are all excited for this tournament, and we will all see you soon. Good luck, everyone.
Yep, see y'all later. See y'all later. Hope you enjoyed the stream.